All right. So the purpose of this session is really about focusing on people that potentially have been placed on furlough. So I don't know if there's anybody on the call that is on furlough at the minute. And a little bit of an update around what the COVID situation means around your personal development. And it's also just going to challenge you a little bit on your mindset, your well-being, and your thinking. What you're going to be doing now moving forward. What's your process like during this situation? So, the COVID-19 update, we're all aware of it. We've got another 3 weeks of lockdown from the government. So that's, for me, is another 3 weeks, and this is what I'll allude to, of growth. It's 3 weeks to really tighten the ship, to tighten everything up, increase my knowledge, my development, and get things done that I haven't been able to before. COVID-19 situation is the direction that we have had from government is very much around all employees that are placed in furlough. So this is for any employers or any people that are on this situation who might be going through this process, can all take part in volunteer work or training. And that's the specific guideline from the government. So there's been a bit of a discrepancy to say, because the next line from the government is, as long as it does not provide services to or generate revenue for or on behalf of the company. So a lot of employees have gone, well, I can't, if I'm putting somebody on furlough, I don't want them doing anything. I can't contact them because they're not allowed to work. They're not allowed to generate anything for the business. And some people have literally just cancelled everything. You know, I don't want to hear from you. You're on furlough and I don't want you to work. Now, I'm strongly recommending against that, and I'm really encouraging people to go with the top line of this, which if I was to say to all of you now, and this is if on furlough or if you've had reduced hours at work, your outgoings and your finances and your personal situations will have changed. And that's just going off my personal thinking and speaking with all others, in that, you know, you're not spending as much. The government have put a lot of things in place around supporting you to block on mortgages for those that people have got them, putting a stop on your council tax, being able to put a stop on your car insurances. I've managed, you know, there's lots of initiatives out there for you to aid yourself from a financial perspective. But at the same time, like I said, if I was to say to any of you, right, you're going to have 3 weeks now where you're going to have a bit more time in your hands, you're at home, you've not really got much else to do whilst at home, and you're not going to have to travel around anywhere. You know, you're not going to have to go to this meeting or attend that school or to do this or to do all that. You'd most probably rip my hands off and say, I'd love that 3 weeks, that 3 weeks of relatively downtime. And in the lines of Jim Rohn, this is called what we call a winter period. It's a bit like a bear hibernating. It's your opportunity to really take stock and to really focus on things that are important. So the key elements of what the government are saying is, yes, as a furloughed worker, you are not meant to carry on work. And the purpose of that is that you can't be seen to be taking government-funded money to then carry on working and making a profit for organisations. It's like a double whammy. It just doesn't work like that. But that doesn't mean that we can't carry on learning and we can't carry on training. And it's all about positioning ourselves. The rest of it challenge you to get you to think, well, what can I be doing? What can I be doing now to really change my mindset to move forward? We're undoubtedly under a phase of pressure. And what happens when people are put under pressure is these three things. You either react with anger sometimes, with, you know, you might say, you know, you might do something that later on, if you was to think properly about it, you'd regret it and you'd possibly do differently. you freeze. So you might get an email of somebody or a task to do, and you think, I can't do that. I'm under so much pressure. I'm on furlough. I've not got enough work. I've got somebody ill at home. I've got this going on. This person I know has got COVID. I've got a family member that's COVID. I've got somebody in hospital. All these issues are going on. This is all pressure. All this pressure is being put on you as a person. And you can freeze in that state and go, well, I'm going to forget about myself because I've got more important things going on. Or we can fight. We can fight and we can go, no, I'm fighting for this. I'm right. I'm doing it. This is my opinion. I'm not going to listen to anybody else. I'm going to do what's right for me. All of these decisions that you make aren't necessarily the right decisions when we really get to think about what we actually should be doing in this time. This is the change curve, and the change curve is very much what's going on. If we paint a picture of this is the COVID situation here going off in China when we first saw it. And I don't know about you, but what I did was very much about that won't happen over here. It's a shame on the people in China, and it was a bit of a blame and denial. Yeah, that won't happen here. And then all of a sudden, you go, wow, bit of frustration and anger sets in. What's going on? We've got lockdown. All these people in London are still out in the pubs and the bars. People aren't listening. People aren't taking this seriously enough. And then we can fall into this mode of depression of going, right, what are we going to do here? I'm going to lose. People are losing jobs. We've not got no money coming in. How am I going to meet that bill? What am I going to do? And all this steps in. And this is happening, and it's happening to everybody all over the world. And there needs to come at this point then a series of expectation and acceptance to say, okay, well, if we are going to change, we've got to accept that this is happening. And what are we now going to do about that? On a personal level, my wife's a key worker. She's out. I'm having to work from home. And we'll come on to some of the ideas in a second. I've got three young children are all at home. I've got one here at the side of me who's doing my editing on Fortnite. I've got to get off in a minute, but there's an acceptance to say, we can stay in here, or I can now start to do something about it and move into this problem-solving state to say, well, this is what I'm going to do about it. There's a million and one things we can all do to change things and to put things right. So this is where we're at, and I think we're now starting. Some people might still be in here. Some people might still be here. Some people might be here. Some people might be up here. I'm me on a personal level. I'm feeling, I'm relatively here. Me, you still get this from time to time, and frustration, but I'm accepting the fact. And what I've done is I'm doing things, and I'm planning and organising to work things out so that in 3 weeks or 6 months, I'm in a good position, and I'm in a positive position. So I just want you to have a look at that for 1 second, and I would just want you to reflect. And hopefully you've got a notepad and pen, and I want you to just have a little think and think, well, where are you on the curve? What's your current thinking? And if anybody's bold enough, then feel free to unmute yourself. Tell us about your personal situation, but where are you at? What's your thoughts?
I'd say personally, I'm definitely at the acceptance phase, 100%. Like you say, you still get frustration and anger. I mean, for me, I don't know about other people. I'm hating not having a work routine. I've got a routine. Like I still get up at 6:30 every day. I walk the dog for an hour. I do jobs around the house and that. But yeah, for me, like I accept it. It is frustrating. I don't know about others, but I personally would rather be at work, and I have felt like that ever since day one. But I understand why we're doing it. But yeah, I'm certainly at the acceptance phase where I understand, it's for the greater good and stuff. I think it's impossible to completely shut off the anger and frustration, but yeah, I would say I'm definitely on the upward curve.
So really, really good. Sorry, go on. Who's someone else want to say that?
Sorry, it's Hobbsy here. So just responding to Benny, I've done myself a new schedule, so I have a daily schedule like every week from Monday to Friday, where I've just now like started doing loads of like online courses for like Excel, Words, different things like that, and then I'll break it up with a bit of fitness, a bit of stuff around the house, put the Barbie on, all that sort of stuff, and I've just done myself like a weekly schedule, and I'm quite happy now.
Yeah, and that's good. So there's a couple of points that have come up there. Is scheduling and blocking is really important during this time. Is to have a plan is what I'm referring to. Is to have a plan and to also go and just think about some of the language that you've just used in the first is I'd sooner be working. Now, what is working? You know, what think about what do you mean by that? What is it that I'd want to be doing? What can I be doing more of? What do I want to focus on? Sometimes you said, you know, like Excel. If you're rubbish at Excel, there's free online
courses. You're trying
courses.
to better yourself.
Yeah, there's free online courses you can access.
Yeah,
rubbish at Excel. That's something I'm actually looking at the minute. Well,
I think from my point
links,
of view, I think from my point of view, I'm just missing going out, interacting with people outside my home, helping other people, you know, observing. Obviously my main role is like observing sessions, etc. I just miss that. I mean, I do have my routines each day. I set myself tasks, whether it's I wash the car one day, I do house jobs the next, or you know, I cut the grass, whatever it might be. But I just missed my normal, I call it my normal routine of what I do in my day-to-day job at working with Premier. I know it's not going to be forever, and that's why I accept it. But it's just obviously a little bit frustrating because I am an active person. I mean, most days I'm up at 5:30 most days, and I get in at 6, 5:30, and you know it's a long day. I prefer being out and about. So it's just that change, isn't it? Like you say.
It is that change, and like you said, it's an acceptance is the key word, and to really then start to think about, okay, well, what am I going to do about it? Okay, what can I now do about that? You know, can I influence other people? There's no better feeling for me if they do influence somebody. Now, there's also this argument there. Well, you know, I'm not making going back to the government direction. You can't be seen to be making if you're furloughed, for example. You can't be seen to be doing anything that's making profit for the company. But one of the key things I'm going to say to everybody is that it's your positioning. Now, some people might turn around, and this is just to be open and honest, and turn around and go, I want a career change. Now, at the end of the day, that's what people, if that's what you're saying, then you're going to come out. But those of you who aren't looking for a career change, are thinking, well, when this, I want to hit the ground running, and I want to have everything boxed off. Now, if that makes you feel better, if that puts you in a better position when you're moving forward, then that's your decision to make, to make those decisions. And nothing stops you liaising with your employer. Nothing stops you speaking to your manager and just going, well, I'm not doing anything. But what your manager won't do is turn around and say to you, well, I want you to do it. It's got to be purely voluntary. It's got to be something that, you know what, I'm going to occupy some of my time because this, when I do come out of furlough, is going to help me. So it's just painting some suggestions. This is another way of looking at change. And the trough of disillusion, I can't even say it, disillusion is that point where you're going like, well, what am I going to do? So like Sam, you've just been saying there, like, get up, I'm doing my routine, I'm washing the cars, I'm cleaning the house, I'm doing, sometimes you can be that disillusioned going, what am I going to do here? But then there's this slope of enlightenment. What can I utilize my time to do? What are my skills? What can I really look at? How can I be productive? How can I influence somebody else's life today? Like I set up a WhatsApp, a Facebook group with a couple of friends of mine, and this is just to put it as an example. We set it out as a bit of something to do to influence other people's lives, and it was a bit of a goal, a bit of a joke. It was seeing how big we can grow our kids and how long we can grow our hair, and a bit of a banter page. And what's developed from that now? That's got 25,500 members on that WhatsApp group. We've been on the BBC, we've been in the Manchester Evening News, we've had celebrities engaging, and what we've been doing through that is impacting mental health for men. It's a men-only page, but it's had a massive impact in terms of productivity, and that's occupying my time. Coming out of this, I've also looked into some other avenues in terms of opportunities when I do come out of this. So what I'm trying to get at is start to think about this slope of enlightenment, and then think about your personal productivity. What makes you feel good, and what can you do when you come to the end of it? It's about then putting your plan in. You know, success is a journey, not a destination, and nobody's the finished article. It's doing. The doing is often more important than the outcome, and putting things in place. You know, some people might look at this and go, yeah, it's all right, I've got 3 weeks off. In principle, that's what we have. We've got time. It's the lockdown time. But you can look at it in two ways. At the minute, it's glorious, isn't it? It's brilliant. You know, the weather's nice. We can have barbecues. We can get out in the garden. We can go for a run. We can clean our cars. But what happens next week when it starts raining and we are literally isolated? And
Hildy,
yeah,
just a quick one. Like from me, it's difficult. It's really difficult if you're a people person. Like for me, I like being out talking to people all the time. So just from my personal experience, I'm just putting it in the chat. Even though I've scheduled and I've got different things that I'm doing and trying to improve myself where I'm poor at, you know, I'll be quite happy to say I'm not the best at admin and Excel and all those. So I thought to myself, right, how can I better myself in that field? But I think the most difficult thing is the interaction, whether you go on, you know, I'm on House Party and loads of different apps, but it's the interaction with different people that I find the hardest.
And I totally get that. And my Facebook story I've just alluded to, and I'm not saying everybody go out and set a group up, but that's helped me with my people person. What I've also done is, and I don't know again about you, but this is things that started to happen, which have been really positive in this, is I've reached out to a lot of people I've not spoken to for a long time. I've got some friends out in Japan I used to play football. I've been FaceTiming them.
Oh, cool.
And I'm all saying they're your decisions, and that's a key development for you to go, I want to start engaging with people more. All right, have a think. What things can we do? You know, if you're a hugger, you know, you can't go around hugging people anymore, but you understand what I mean. And it's really looking at the reality in terms of how are we going to get through this journey. And you're going to have 100% going to have days where you're going to be down in the dumps, mega down in the dumps, bored, fed up. But if you have a plan, that plan enables you to get out of that mode. And, you know, one of the things I've got, here, I'll share my, I'll very, very quickly share my webcam. You have to excuse it because I am growing my hair. But this is something I've just pulled off the wall. Now, I can't expect you to see all that, but what I've got is a full structure in terms of timing. This is something we've been doing at HQ. It's called Lagom. So, you know, 7 o'clock, planning for the day, all my emails done. 7:45 to 8:30, that's all my people stuff. That's where I speak to people, make phone calls. 9:30, I do something focused, where I switch everything off. 10:30, I'll have a break. I'll do some exercise. I'll make something to eat. I'll have a drink. Spend some time with my kids, which has been brilliant while I've been at home. And then the day goes on, and then I finish at 5:30. And then one of the things we have been doing is with the children and the kids at home is putting that plan with what they want to do. Now, one of the other things around planning, and again, you can make this on a personal level, is you'll see at the top here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can't see my writing, but I have 3 key tasks that I'm going to achieve every day. So they're my personal 3 key tasks. I'm going to make sure I hit them. And what I also do to back that up is I do 3 key tasks that I'm going to achieve for the week. So, you know, one of my 3 key tasks last week was to do the decking at the house. It had to be done. It was the big task, and I was like, that is happening. And I've really focused on it, and it's done. And I feel absolutely great after. I was doing the barbecue last night, and I'm like, it looks, but it makes me feel good. And I think that's what I'm trying to get at, is that enabling you to plan your time. I can share the Lagom schedule with you. You know, feel free to drop me an email after this, or a message, or whatever works best for you, and I'll share it with you. And I'll show you my model for the 3-day task. But it's what I'm trying to get at, again, it's regardless of the situation or position that you're in, there's an acceptance for you to, I'll just turn that off, scare people. There's an acceptance to make sure that we are moving forward. So a couple of other points just to kind of get you thinking is when you're doing a bit of a self-review, is think about your personal knowledge. What's your knowledge like? What are the areas that you think, you know, I'd really like to know more about that? What are your skills like? Is there any skills, actual application of skills that you want to do and you want to work better at? And is there anything around your behaviors? You know, things like, have you ever done a behavior profile? You know, there's loads of free behavior profiles online. Learn a little bit more about yourself. But these ways, these things about your personal knowledge, the personal skills you have, your personal behaviors, that at this point, you know, you can be working on them. And it's a great opportunity, going back to the bear hibernating, to work on these key areas. So just a couple of other areas just to kind of get you thinking is, virtual now is the new normal. So the option to work from home when needed, or trying a different lifestyle without having to change jobs, is a win for everybody. And it's about, if you are working from home, a bit like I've just alluded to, is take some time. It's the yin and the yang, but take some time to set up your working environment. You know, if you need to purchase a desk or a chair or some flip chart markers, and some of these flip chart, that flip chart I've just showed you is a magic flip chart board. It's metallic, it's not sticky, it can go on any wall. But you can start to really get that environment. Embrace technology. Absolutely embrace it. And the amount of people I've come across said, well, I don't get IT. I don't understand IT, or I've never used that. Well, embrace it. Switch it on. Play around with it. Manage your own time. Human management. Manage what you're doing. You know, there is this element of feeling alone, which is the point of you saying you're a people person. If you're a people person, then this is horrible. It's the same with me. I'm very much the same. But arrange meetings, even if they are, like you've said, go-to meetings, Zoom quizzes, you know, whatever you can do. But one of the key things is plan. And most importantly, which I'll cover at the end, is report on it. Not report to anybody, but the purpose of reporting is so that you know if something's working or not. And it's not just the sake of doing something for the sake of doing it. Get the most from your people. So those of you who are leaders on this call, or managers or business owners, you know, if you're responsible for people, and this might be in work, outside work, if you have any responsibility to develop or engage family members, then do your bit to get the most. You know, the quote is a great one. You know, start with the good people, lay out the rules, communicate to your employees, motivate them, reward them. If you do all those things effectively, you can't miss it. And I had a massive issue with this last week. And one of my guys that works with me, one of his family members had got COVID. And you know what? I never asked him. How's things? You know, how's things at home? And that was a massive learning thing for me. And I think this is a great opportunity to start with people, you know, get the best, communicate with people, help people. And this is, I suppose, the purpose of this. If I help one person on this call today, I'm absolutely buzzing. You know, if there might be some people on the phone call saying, I wish he'd shut up because he's talking nonsense, but that's your personal decision. You know, take that mindset from fear into focus. Set some new standards for yourself. Set some new goals. But make them realistic. You know, be seen to be leading is again something I've learned this week. I've been doing lots of these video calls and conferences, and I've just been sat there in my tracksuit and my hoodie and just chilling out. But you know what? I've made a point this week, me personally, of And this came from one of my team members. I get up in the morning, you know, get into work mode. I've been having my showers and doing everything that you need to do, but I've been putting my uniform on because I'm on conference calls with people because I want to be seen to be leading. Now, some people might think I'm not doing that. That's just stupid. But for me personally, that's helping me. That's a decision I'm making. Train on new things and retrain on areas. You know, the conscious incompetent stage. Which tasks are you unconsciously competent at now? And for those of you who don't understand the conscious competence, it's a bit like learning to drive. When you get in a car for the first time, you're unconscious incompetent. You don't know, you don't know. But then when you start the engine and start to drive, you become a conscious incompetent. You now know you can't drive. And then what do? You become a conscious competent. You learn to drive, you pass your test. But you're consciously competent on it. You really, you know, you 10 to 2, you don't speed, you change the gears, you always use your indicators. But now when you're driving, you become an unconscious incompetent because you pick up bad habits. So is there any areas around that where you can train new things? So can you move from an unconscious incompetent to a conscious incompetent and learn? Are the things that you need to retrain on where you become unconsciously competent? And keep as many as your team and your family and your networks and your new networks. Keep as many people as you can together. But what you do learn through this, which is a bit of a negative, which I didn't want to drop onto, you also learn about the people that you don't want to keep and that are not right for you or right for your business or right for your leadership. And again, this is an opportunity to communicate and say, if this isn't right for you, then let's work together to get something right for you so you can turn the negative into a positive. Build a strong mindset. The strength of your mind determines the depth of your desperation. The weaker the mind, the deeper the desperation. The Dalai Lama has a fantastic quote. I should have dropped it on this slide, where he states that if you've got a problem, an issue, but you can deal with it, come rain or shine, you can do something about it and sort it out, then why worry about it? He also then states that if you've got a problem that you can't do anything about it, then why worry about it? There's nothing you can do about it. And it just gets you thinking. Your mental mindset, your beliefs, and what you say to yourself is, and I remember James Ashford doing a session a while back where you speak to somebody and you pick the phone up and you say to them, "How are you doing?" And they go, "Yeah, not bad." Well, what does "yeah, not bad" mean? You're not bad. Well, why are you then? Are you good? Well, why don't you say you're good? You know, what are your beliefs? Do you wake up in the morning, you look at the weather and go, "Oh, what a miserable day. It's raining." Well, it's not a miserable day. It's a miserable day if you want it to be a miserable day. The weather's not warm. It's raining. It's not a miserable day. It is if you want it to be. So it's those beliefs and those self-talk. And listen, I'm not perfect. I still go, sometimes people will pick me on and I go, "Yeah, I'm not bad." Or sometimes I go, "Oh, look at that weather. It's shocking." You know, but I'll correct myself sometimes and go, "What are you saying? Come on, sort your head out." You know, daily rituals. We just talk about that. What is your daily structure? 100%. Set some times. If you've got a calendar, a schedule, set your rituals. Set your focus tasks. Set the things where you're going to be really focused on stuff. Set time in your schedule for learning and growing. Give yourself 30 minutes a day on personal learning every day. 30 minutes, whether that's an audio book, a YouTube video, a telephone call with somebody, a bit of research. Spend 30 minutes focusing on something. I want to learn the guitar. I will eventually get it out of the loft. That's something I'm going to do. It's whether I achieve it or not, but I'm going to assign some time to it. Turn things on opportunities, not crises, and get your small wins. And the small wins every day will change your mindset, put you in a positive frame of mind, and wants you to strive, wants you to move forward. And sometimes no news is good news. You know, if you're not getting information, you're not getting pestered, then that's fine. It's not a big deal. But one ear I always put in is, but don't watch the news. I've had to watch from a professional point of view. I've had to watch the updates at the end of the day from Boris and the team. But in general, I don't watch the news. The reason I personally don't watch the news is because it's full of negativity, and that doesn't help my mindset. Try it for a week, see what it works for you. So don't read the newspapers, don't watch the news, see if your mindset changes.
Can I jump in? Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I work at the UCPS bit around.
Yeah.
Your slide. So I have quite severe depression, and I found that doing the small rituals every day really helps to keep things as normal, like daily rituals. So something even as small as just making your bed, get up, make your bed, it's done. Fold your pajamas. Those sort of small things that you do every day, you can then start to build and do bigger rituals every single day as well. So yeah, definitely agree with the building the strong mindset slide.
Yeah, great point. And depression, mindset, and personal mental well-being is a huge point in this part. And that's one of my rituals, one of my purposes around creating. At some point, I think we all suffer with mental health. I honestly believe that, and I think it's having people, it's having sessions. So thanks for coming on this. Hopefully, this might help you. It certainly helps me presenting it. It gets you to reflect, gets you to think, gets you to go. There is ways of getting out of it, and there's people that are around you that are going through the same thing. I think it's like the group that we've created. I'm doing all right. Plug for that group today. So, but the group we've created is, 1 in 5 men suffer from mental health. So we've got 20,000 men on there. There's a lot of people that we're helping, and that fills me with a bit of pride. And hopefully this is going to help. This is going to go live on our YouTube channel. Hopefully it helps somebody else, and it helps people to be a little bit more organised. It might help businesses grow when COVID comes out. I know I'm not meant to say that because it's about furlough, but you get my point. But thanks for sharing. So the fixed mindset, growth mindset, I'm not going to go through this in detail. You get it. Somebody in a fixed mindset state is very static. Will do not carry out any actions without seeking approval. It's a confidence issue at times. You feel threatened by the success of other people. So if you are threatened by other people, then don't go on social media. Don't go on Instagram. Give yourself an Instagram block, because you can see everybody puts their perfect life on social media, and it's not true. So don't worry about it. There's other things around Carol, around some information around Carol Dweck. I don't know if anybody's read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. I strongly recommend it. It's in my top 5 books to read. You can get the audio book, and there's some real short snippets on YouTube you can get. So that's Carol Dweck. And her book is Mindset. And she's got loads of ways in which she actually scientifically evidences and proves how a growth mindset works. So strongly, I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, but I will give you an example of somebody I've been working with whose his environment that he's been around has been very much this. This is a person that has been placed on furlough, and this isn't to do with Premier, and his parents have been saying to this person, right, that employer, get rid of him, don't be doing any work. And this guy's reached out to me on a personal level because he's very much in a fixed mindset to say, I'm at home, I can't do any work, I can't even work from home, and I've got nothing to do. And that mindset has been fixed by his parents, telling him that don't do anything. When that fixed mindset should be total opposite to that. And I'm not saying, listen, go and do a load of work for your employers. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, though, if you are remaining in that employment and you're in that situation, then is the things you can be doing to make your life better, just you personally. You know, is the knowledge, skills, and behaviours? You know, do you want to be a better coach? Do you want to be a better leader? Now, if you do, then there's loads of sessions on here that you can access. If you don't, then this is a fixed mindset. You know, what is it you want to be better at? And focus on them. You know, move forward is what I'm trying to get at. Which leads us to this, is, you know, work harder on yourself than anything else. You know, Jim Rohn's got some fantastic books out at the minute. He's not at the minute, been out for a long time. But one of them that we're focusing on, it was David Batch, our CEO, who's on TWP-TV on Monday at 11 o'clock, for those who are interested. He's been really encouraging us to look at the seasons of change. And Jim Rohn wrote a book about that. Never wish life was easier, because it won't happen. Wish you were better, and focus on that. Make more objective and subjective decisions. You know, I've already referred to this: your skills, your beliefs, your values. What are you about? Create a learning log. You don't have to, but one of the key things what Jim Rohn talks about in a lot of his books is learn before you earn. You know, some people go to work for money. Some people go to work to learn. And you will, again, you can carry out your own research into this, but you can guarantee a lot of the successful people all started at the bottom. What's that? Is it a Drake song? Started at the bottom, now we're here. It's a very clear point. Is this is an opportunity for you to learn to earn if you want to. If you want to make progress, you want to earn more money. Who doesn't want to earn more money? You know, well, invest in that. Plan for 90 days. You know, get a 90-day plan. Doesn't matter what template it's on. Do it on a Word doc. Get a piece of paper. Get it, you know, draw it. You know, work backwards. So in 90 days' time, where do you want to be? And then that, you know, just jot a few things down. And the 30-10-5 principle is what I'm going to come to now. And I've put 35-10 on here, but it's 30-10-5. I do apologise for that. Is 30-10-5 is you spend 30 minutes every day on personal learning, personal development, focusing on what's important to you. And you then spend 10 minutes taking notes. 10 minutes, that's all. 10 minutes so like you've done this session with me, this is recorded. Hopefully you've took some notes. If you have, take 10 minutes now after this call, just to jot some notes down and actions, what's important. And then the 5 minutes after, you spend 5 minutes influencing somebody else, sharing it. You know, you might want to share it with somebody in your team. You might want to share it with your family members. You might, whoever it is, spend 5 minutes on it. And then the 24/7-31 is because of this session you've just done now. And again, 20% of you will do something about this. 80% of you won't. So that's, again, I'm just doing my bit to help. But the 20% that will is in the next 24 hours, what are you going to do because of this? Because of this session you've just done with me, what are you going to do about it? What are you then going to do directly because of this session? What are you going to do in the next 7 days? And then because of this session, what are you going to do by the end of the month? So you could commit to that, again, on your piece of paper, do your 30-10-5, and then do one action for 24 hours, 7 days, 31 days. So very prominent quote linked to crisis and China. Sound a bit like, what's his name? American leader.
Trump.
That's the one. It slipped my mind there. When
Can't forget him.
The word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger and the other one represents opportunity. So we are in an opportunity stage, and that's me. So hopefully I've got you thinking, hopefully I've challenged you, and hopefully you